What are the top 4 fat loss mistakes that you must avoid? Just going to take you a little. Somebody else is working in here, working hard. I was going to take you in here for a change of scenery, just as opposed to my boring old desk. But what I'm going to cover today is the top 4 fat loss mistakes that you must avoid. Now, there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of nonsense out there when it comes to fat loss. But I'm going to at least try and break some of the biggest mistakes that I see busy 9-to-5ers, executives making when it comes to losing fat. Because ultimately there's a lot of them out there, unfortunately. And I've made a hell of a lot of them myself. The reason I know what mistakes you need to avoid when it comes to losing fat is I've probably done half of them, at the very least. Now, if you are watching this video live, drop me a comment with the word live. If you're watching back the replay, just comment the word replay. Also, before we dive in, let me know if you have any questions. Drop them into the comments below, and I will answer them on the live. But essentially, the 4 biggest fat loss mistakes that I personally see being made. Very, very simple. Number 1 is attempting to fit yourself into a specific way of eating instead of finding a way of eating that works for you. Ultimately, we're all different. We're all human beings. We're all each to our own. We all have different schedules, routines, lifestyles, likes, dislikes, challenges. We all have dozens and dozens of different potential environments and clashes and things to consider. So you just going on a diet because XYZ had success with it is a complete and utter waste of your time and energy. So trying to fit yourself into a diet would be the biggest fat loss mistake that I see. This is something that we work very closely with our Fat Loss Forever clients on. Every one of them is different. Every one of them requires different methods of planning, different meals, different frequency of meals. There is no real perfect answer. The perfect answer is what works for you. That's the perfect fucking answer. Anyone who tells you anything different, maybe I was going to say is wrong. They're not necessarily wrong, but ultimately you have to consider you're not getting paid for this. You're probably going to be someone who just wants to lose weight, get fitter, get healthier, feel better, perform at a higher level, have energy to play with your kids at night. You don't need optimal. You need something you can stick to for a long time. That's what you need. So number 1, find a diet that works for you, not force yourself into one. Fat loss mistake number 2, hours of fucking cardio. Cardio is boring. It's boring and it's not very effective at losing fat, believe it or not. Fortunately, cardio is not hugely fat burning. What is the number 1 fat burning exercise method? Weight training. Lifting weights is going to be the most effective and efficient way you can burn fat, change your body composition, and change your physique. Now, unless you want to look like Mo Farah, go and run a marathon every day. Fine. Some people want to look like that. That's no stress at all. Nothing against that. That's just not for me. So find, again, if you want to look lean, fit, healthy, athletic, muscular, toned with a bit of definition, then training with weights is going to be absolutely key. Third fat burning mistake is underestimating the power of steps. Getting your steps in, your daily step count up, your overall activity up is probably one of the most powerful things you can do. We use something called the 3x15 method. 3 15-minute walks spaced evenly throughout the day. Get them done, get them in the diary, schedule them in, and take action. It is not overly challenging to do. It is not a huge task to schedule in 3 15-minute walks a day, but it's going to get you alone 6,000 to 8,000 steps if you're really brisk with it. So that's going to put you in the ballpark in terms of a decent level of activity for the day. Now, everyone needs different levels of activity, so I'm not going to say that you need to do X or Y or Z. Ultimately, you have to find, again, what works for you. So looking at your weight loss and things like that, a couple of hierarchy of importance. Getting your nutrition right, fitting things in to a plan that's going to work for you. Secondly, train with weights. Third, get the activity up. And the final point around this is underestimating the power of sleep again. Now, Underestimating the power of sleep is something that we all do, myself included. But again, the studies have shown time and time again that by simply increasing the quality of your sleep without any other effort or anything else, any other tweaks or adjustments or anything along those lines, you will increase your ability to lose fat by doing nothing apart from getting a good sleep routine there. Doesn't take any additional effort, doesn't take any additional sacrifice. It means you're going to feel better, you have more energy, you're going to sleep better. Like, why would you not do that? Ultimately, really developing a solid sleep routine is key. So, number one, make sure you're fitting a diet that works, using a diet that works for you. Number two, train with fucking weights. Hang up the cardio boots. Number three, I've forgotten what number three was. I'm only joking. Get the activity up and get the steps in. And number four is the one we just covered there. So essentially, those are the four biggest fat loss mistakes that I personally see most people making. Now, when it comes to losing fat, getting fit, getting healthy, what I see most people struggling with is the lack of a plan, the lack of clarity on what's actually required on a daily and weekly basis. If you have an action plan for each day, if you have an action plan for each week, how much more likely are you to execute? Maybe you're getting caught up in the thinking, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Then you give something a little bit of a go, but not all the way there. And then it just doesn't work. And then you're second guessing. That was me for 4 years. If you want the clarity and structure and the direction that you need in order to just take action and get results, DM me with the word plan, and I'll send you a completely free copy of one of our Fat Loss Forever meal plans that's going to at least get the ball rolling for you. DM me the word plan. I'll send that across. Hopefully you enjoy the live, and see you next week.